This is what the Browns need to have happen. First and foremost, Kansas City has to beat the Bengals. If the Bengals win, that eliminates the Browns and clinches the AFC North for Cincinnati. The Rams have to beat the Ravens, or the Ravens have to lose next week, and the Browns must beat the Steelers. And then, that would set up the potential with the winner-take-all game against Cincinnati. So the Browns have to beat the Steelers, have to beat the Bengals. They need the Ravens to lose one, and they need the Chiefs to beat the Bengals. And again, Mary Kay, none of that is really out of the realm of possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it isn't like you're expecting some sort of ridiculous upset to happen either.
Exactly. And that's why I wrote a column, a few days ago, on Sunday when the AFC games had been played, saying that it's not as far-fetched as you might think for the Browns to actually come through and win the AFC North. Now, is it likely? Right now, it doesn't seem likely, but it's definitely possible. And here are some of the reasons why. First of all, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're beatable. I mean, they are definitely beatable. And, for a number of reasons. And one of the main reasons I believe that is because the Browns defense is playing incredibly well, and they're getting as many as 6 guys back, 6 starters back for this game. Guys like Jadeveon Clowney, Malik McDowell, Ronnie Harrison, John Johnson III, Greg Newsome, Troy Hill. I mean, if they get all of those guys back, this is a defense that almost went into Green Bay and defeated Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, despite the fact that Baker Mayfield threw 4 interceptions. So that's really saying something. They pretty much shut them down in the second half. So that's why I think that that the Steelers are beatable. But there are things to consider, including the fact that it is likely Ben Roethlisberger's last game in Heinz Field. It's always hard to win in Heinz Field, especially for the Cleveland Browns. And, they're going to have a lot of intensity for that football game. They're going to want to give Ben Roethlisberger a proper send-off. Now, who knows if those players will know for sure or not if it's his last game. I mean, he might give them the win one for the Gipper speech before the game. Maybe he's saving it for that moment to help them get really fired up for what for them could also be an opportunity to win the AFC North. So that's a huge factor heading into this game, the fact that it could be Big Ben's last game. But then when you look ahead to the Bengals game, people are like, oh, well, look what they just did to the Ravens. And, obviously, they're hot and they're rolling and maybe they're unbeatable. Well, they're really not unbeatable, I don't think, for the Cleveland Browns. Once again, why? Because of the Cleveland Browns defense. In the 41-16 victory over the Bengals, the Browns picked off Joe Burrow twice, took the ball away 3 times, and sacked him 5 times. Some teams match up better against other teams than others, and I think that the Browns have a tendency to match up pretty well against the Bengals from a Browns defense, Bengals offense standpoint. And if they think that they're playing the Ravens defense that they beat up on last week, they will have a rude awakening.
Yeah, and the flip side of it is the Bengals are still very young, so let's see how they handle, being the hunted, if you will. Right now, they're the odds-on favorite to win the AFC North. They really only need to win one of their final 2 games to win the North. Let's see how the young Bengals handle the headiness and the pressure of that. For the Browns, this game against Steelers, it's really an elimination game. Whoever wins this, if the Bengals lose, still has a chance to win the division. The loser of it has no chance.